So here we are at the Fay Village Woods with Mollie, Micky, Gracie and the 2 little babies. Hi. Indeed, yes. My Collie! Well, I just watched a Man United game. Don't really know what to say about it. At one point in the first half there was an injury and all the players went over. Before that point in time, Fred was playing a bit deeper than Pogba. Ollie had a word with them and suddenly Pogba was playing deeper than Fred after they came back. And it's like, excuse me, Pogba is one of the most creative midfielders in the world. You have him playing deeper than Fred. Right, okay. I didn't actually catch the game straight on because I've gone out for a walk with the dogs. Come back, put it on, and James is playing, Fred is playing. I'm thinking, jeez, really? And Sancho is playing. I thought, okay, he started Sancho. Varane, I couldn't invite Varney earlier, but Varane, he was playing as well. He started, so okay, that's okay. Radio. But I have to say, after the first full match of watching Sancho, one has to say, what City fans will be watching United, and United fans are saying, that's why we didn't want him back. He had nothing. Sancho, nothing at all. Nothing at all. Now, whether that's because of Sancho, whether that's because of Varney, I don't know. Now, time's going to tell with regards to that, because to be honest, not selling much for England, obviously, because of the fact that for England, he wasn't being picked, was he? Yeah, Southgate wasn't picking him, so didn't see him playing for England during the Euros. He's only had the one start today for United, so early to judge him, far too early really. But yeah, basically Greenwood looks a far better player than Sancho. A far better player. Not only because he scored, but also because he was the one trying to create something. He was the one trying to get in a position where he could create a goal or score a goal. Sancho was just, basically it's like having Rashford or Martial there, really. Just did the bare minimum. Get the ball passable, get the ball passable. Get the ball, just, there you go, you have it. That sort of thing. There was no really trying. Like James. James, I don't really rate James because although he runs, he doesn't really end up with anything most of the time, does he? But then again, I don't blame him. As I've said before, he's being played on the right. He should be being played on the left. That's where he's better. His style of play is better on the left. So did you put Martial on the left? Yeah, put James on the left. Put Sancho on the right, because I'm pretty sure for Dortmund, Sancho played on the right, not the left. Ollie's very, very good at playing players out of position, isn't he? So in this game, it was James out of position, Sancho out of position, Pogba out of position. 3 players. And then you wonder why the attack was quite poor. Ding! There you have it, really. Yeah. Second half, Pogba started going forward a bit more, linking up a bit better, playing those quick passes, and things just looked better. Suddenly things started to improve, and it's because he was there in a better position. Now, where do we normally go left? There's a person with a dog there. Do we normally go left up here, or is it down there? I don't know. Pretty sure it's down there. This person's just coming anyway. Come here. Gracie. Grace. Grace. Gracie. Pick it up. You're a good girl. Teri's there? Oh, there. Okay. Well, Mollie's just here. Okay, cool. Micky? No. I'll keep a close eye on that with this one. Micky, come. This way. Micky, come. Micky, come. Good boy. There you go. There's a good boy. Yeah, I'm soon going to find out. We should have gone left back up there. You've got 2 paths you can go. But maybe I could have gone back up there. I'm not totally sure. Figure out in a second, actually. As we get around this bendy bit. Yes. Well, I'm coming out earlier with them now because I'm going to go down the shops and I'm going to take the others out for a wacky ball. So I could take the others out early, but then they don't get another run. That's the only run they get. They're not going to go out again at bedtime, so therefore, it makes sense really, doesn't it, to give the others their walkies at a later stage rather than an earlier stage, because that's the last walkies they're getting before, well, tomorrow. So, yeah. Right, so the left is up here. Yeah, because there's another left further down. Yeah, okay. What was I saying about, Wolves, yeah. I mean, Adam Traore, powerful player. Very, massive legs, massive shoulders. Yeah. If he was in a gym, you'd go like, okay, if you want to get big, look at what he's doing and copy him. Yeah, to any sort of beginner. Look at what he's doing, copy him. But if you want to teach someone to be effective as a football player, don't look at him, don't copy him. Because although he runs past people with ease. With ease. Like a hot knife through butter. There's, basically Pogba, Wan-Bissaka, Fred. He's just going through them. No problem at all. Okay. So, but the problem is, he's finishing. Well, it's not just his finishing. The finishing of Wolves right now is dismal. Now, I think what Traore needs is to be told to slow it down a tiny bit. Just a bit. Certainly when you get into the final bit, slow it down a bit. Yeah, if you're going too fast, then your ball control can be a bit lost at the end. Maybe your focus on what to do with the ball can be a bit lost because you're focusing so much on running with the ball. Like I said about Lukaku. Lukaku can't run with the ball. Traore can. Problem with running with the ball, you've got to have so much focus on, you've got to keep an eye on where the ball is, where the people around you are, certainly the opposition, because you've got to go past them. So of course, there's a lot of focus on running with the ball. So your final bit, there's not so much focus on it. There's very few players that can actually do that. But when you get quick, powerful players, the most important thing is, at the end, they slow down a bit. Yeah, they learn to calm down at the end, because the excitement of taking someone on can be the thing that ruins the last part of it. So, slow down. Yeah, get your bearings, that's one point, because obviously you started in your half, now you're in the other team's penalty box. So, know where you are, know where your teammates are. Right, Jacob! Right! Enough! That's too much, too aggressive. There's the other pathway to the left, over there. So, yeah, there's two, there's over there and over there. They are very, very close to each other. But, yeah. Yeah, anyway, we're going to go straight through, I think. These two are play fighting the whole way through. Oi! You're supposed to be having walkies. Get your sticky, mate, don't we? Not you, Bubba. I'm talking to the babies. Trying to tell the babies I've done nutcases. Go and run in the woods, go on. Go and run. Instead of play fighting all the time, you nutcases. Anything else to say? Referee let the game flow quite a lot. There was a lot of play acting. The Greenwood goal. Pogba, terrible control at that point. Really, really awful control. He went to try and retain the ball, missed the ball, but missed the player as well, the Wolves player. But the Wolves player then acted as if he'd been really clouted by Pogba. Which, when they checked the VAR afterwards, Pogba didn't even touch him. And the bloke's writhing around the floor. For goodness sake, pack it up. There was another bit where Bruno was actually laughing at the Wolves bloke. The Wolves bloke, again, pretended that Bruno had basically got him with his studs down his leg. Bruno didn't touch him. But the bloke looking at the ref saying, "Ref!" And Bruno's just laughing at the bloke saying, "What are you doing? You're an idiot." There's too much of this going on. Way too much of it. Referees have got to book players who are trying to fake it. Yeah, I suppose players think you fake it enough, then the referee's going to sort of take one of them and they're going to card the player. But again, Fernandez has got to... This is what I say about Fernandez is not a leader because he's too petulant. Again, he got booked for speaking back to the referee today. He shouldn't do that. He's got to close his mouth. He's got to talk with his feet rather than his mouth. Arguing with the ref. As I said, look, come on. If you are that annoyed with the ref, you can easily mishit the ball at the referee if you want to have a go at the referee. If you are a skillful enough player with passing, you can easily wallop the referee with the ball accidentally on purpose. If you feel you must do something to address the referee's bad decision making, you can do that. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying you could. Looks like they've been cutting back some of the bush. Yeah, because all that there was over here at some point. That's risky, the fire. So if we get dry weather, that's a bit risky. But all this was a bit higher up, I think. It does make it better. You can see a bit better through it, which is better. If there's another doggy ahead, you've got more chance of seeing. Yeah. Come on, Grace. My Collie, leave. Come on, brother. So yeah, his petulance, Bruno. Yeah, he's got to learn to stop that. Yeah. Again, this is where Ollie has got to really speak to Bruno and say, look, this is not your job. You're unhappy with referee decisions, take it away from the referee. Yeah, play such good football that we end up winning 3 or 4-0, so it doesn't really matter what the referee decides, does it? If he doesn't give a couple of free kicks, it doesn't matter. Does it really? Yeah. If the referee's making such terrible decisions, it's up to us as a club to then contact the referees association or the FA about it and get that referee banned from refereeing in future. Because if he's making terrible decisions that are leaving players, health at risk, well then, we will deal with that. But you, as an attacking player, quiet down. But we've had these players all the way through. Other teams have had these players. Yeah, it's usually the skillful players that are the ones who moan to the ref more about decisions like that. They get a rate because they're the ones that are the ones full of passion. You often find defenders are the ones, and defensive midfielders are the ones that are more sort of controlled, because they have to be, because that's what their job is. A more controlled job. But the flair players are the more passionate players. Yeah, and that's why they have a go at the referees all the time. It's like, okay. My Collie. Hi, my Collie. How you doing? So, yeah. One thing I would say also with regards to football, you had the Rangers Celtic game earlier. I don't know exactly how many Rangers players were out, but there were certainly quite a few. The report just said they were depleted to the point where the manager couldn't even be there because of the COVID situation. Because a few were tested as positive, or near someone who was tested as positive. But they still beat Celtic 1-0. Now, one has to say, How absolutely pathetic is Scottish football right now? Yeah, if the number 2 team can't even beat the number 1 team when they're depleted, and they haven't even got a manager there. Come on. That's just utterly and totally ridiculous. How can you not even win a game against them when they're depleted and they haven't got a manager? That's just ridiculous, that is. Really ridiculous. But there you go. I mean, as I say, this is why, certainly in England, it's always laughed at when people suggest that the Scottish teams would come into the Premiership and compete. No. The English Premiership, that is. No, of course they wouldn't. No. Not in any way, shape or form. But the reason why is because there's only ever really, I mean, sometimes in Scottish football you've had 2 or 3 decent teams. And when you've had that, you've been stronger. Yeah, the Scottish Premier League has been stronger when there's been 2 or 3 good teams. You know, like a few seasons ago, there was Inverness as well challenging Celtic. Aberdeen has been up there. Rangers and Celtic have been, contesting the league quite strongly together. Switching positions as first and second throughout the season. That makes you stronger as a league. But when it's Celtic dominating with no competition, Rangers dominating with no competition, then your league is incredibly weak. Yep. That's why you have players coming up to the Scottish teams when they're not good enough to play in the English Premier League, or when they become half decent in the Scottish League, they go to the Championship in the English Football League. They don't go to the Premier League, they go to a team in the Championship, from Celtic or Rangers. Partly because of money, but partly because also the quality. Put it this way, that they go there because the money's better, partly. But they don't go there initially because they're not viewed as good enough. When they start to show that they're okay or decent at the level of Scottish football, well, then the Championship teams in England are interested. The Premiership teams are not. Which means that your level is so incredibly low. Hey, come. There's a good girl. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I know that population is quite small. Yeah. That's true. But, if you're able to produce the likes of Souness, Dalglish, Strachan, McQueen, and various other players in the past, so the 80s, certainly the 80s, Scotland had some very good players coming through. Very good players indeed. What happened? Again, when I look at that, the fact that Scotland had some good players coming through in the 80s. Teri, come. Teri. Come here. What are you barking at? Matter. I don't think there's anyone near. I could be wrong, but I mean, someone's garden, so maybe someone's in the garden. Oh. Teri Toos, what are you barking at, Bubs? Weird. Come on, this way. Come, Bubs. Well, as they're going out again tonight, I think one go around here is good enough. I'll then go to the shop, see what deals are on, and then take the others out for a bit of wacky ball. Indeed, yeah. Anyway, so okay, so the 80s. Yeah, it would be interesting to know what they were doing that was right, and what then started to happen that's got us into this situation now. where really Scottish football is just something that shouldn't be taken seriously. It isn't taken seriously. Well, it's not taken seriously because it shouldn't be taken seriously because it's not a decent enough level. But that's down to the Scottish teams and it's down to all that, isn't it, really? Well, so, and, when Keane has talked about Ireland and his time playing for Ireland and how the Irish Football Federation dealt with Ireland being in competitions, you've got to say that wasn't very good. The way they were doing things, that wasn't very professional of them. The way, when they showed up for the World Cup, they didn't have any kit or any, even a football or bibs to train with, anything at all. In the first place they went, the training pitch was, like this, pretty much like this. Not the woods, but the ground being like this. It wasn't very good. Pretty poor. You wouldn't want to play football on a ground like this, would you? But that's what the Irish Federation had booked for them. And as Keane said, it's not as if we only qualified at the last minute. He said we qualified 6 months beforehand. They had time to get everything organised. The pitch may have been dodgy, but you still have footballs and you have bibs and you have all that sort of stuff, wouldn't you? But they had none of it at all. And I'm not saying Scotland has the same problem. Maybe they do. I don't know. I say certainly it's a case where, I say the level of competition, the level of training is obviously really poor because you're not producing the players. You're just not doing it as a nation anymore. We were, but not anymore. I mean, we could be surprised. There may be some players coming up now who are Scottish and who are absolutely wonder kids. That's possible. But do we expect that to be the case? Not really, no. Nope. I'd certainly say, going back to the Man United thing, I think Man United got away with it today. I don't think they're playing well. I think Fred was his usual, hapless midfielder. He did okay. I think James was okay. I don't think James and Fred should start, not in any way, shape or form. I don't think they're good enough. I think they're squad players at best. I don't even think they're that, really. Certainly not the way they're being played. Well, basically Fred I don't think should be played anyway. But James, I think if you're going to play him on the left, that's okay. Give him a go on the left. See if it works with him on the left. If it doesn't on the right, it doesn't work. So on the left, give him a go there. Otherwise, sell him, let him go. He's not going to be making the difference maker, is he? Really, not on the right. He's proved time and time again he's not going to be that difference maker on the right. So either play him on the left or sell him. We've got too many players that are sitting warming the bench or warming the stands because they're not even being picked on the bench. James has been one of those players playing on the reserves with Jones and Pereira and whoever else, but loads, Lingard, sort of players. Now, the reserves aren't supposed to be first-time players that are bought for first team who have failed, but are on incredibly long contracts that no other team wants because they can't afford the wages. Gracie, Daisica went all the way. Wait for me, Nutter. Most who walk round, as you very well know, every time I look around, there's Gracie behind me. Wait, I thought you normally walk behind me, Nutter. What you doing walking all the way ahead? Eh? What you doing? I thought you walked behind me, Swinner. Eh? Gracie Grace. Gracie Grace? I thought you walked with Daddy. I thought that's where you walk. Eh? I thought you always stay with your dad. There you go, way ahead. Jakes, come here. Well, Micky's gone over there somewhere, I think, probably. That's why Jakey's trying to find him. Ah, there he is. There's Micky. Come on this way. Come on, bud. We're going to the car. Come here. Here now. Here now. Again, how many paths are there? You pick this one. Okay. Okay. Gracie! Grace! Hang up. Covie, be a good girl. She's just a baby. Wait, Gracie, no jumping. Teri Cheese, you found an older dog the same size as you. Here, eh? Hello, pup. How you doing? Teri, come. This way. Come, Bubs. Let's get you in the car. I actually found an older pup that was just their size. Brilliant. Where are you going? Wait, here now. Here. Get here. Gracie. Here now. Come here. You don't take the doggies to the bloody road, Gracie. Don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that, Grace. Bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Keep them away from the road, Gracie. Jacob, Jakes. Here, Bubs. Let's get them in the car. Let's get you in the car, Bubs. Come here. Teri, Jacob. Jacob. Here. Grace. Here you go. Jacob, come. Come on, Teri. Jacob. You got him? There you go. There you go, my boy. There you go, pup. There's your walkies. My cry. There you go, my cry. Come on, move. Yeah, let me move. There you go, Bubs. Oh, dear. Well, as I say, today it was a nice bit of play by Greenwood. It really settled things today in that game. But anyone who thinks United are back because of that. But again, look at it, try to understand it. Yeah. Ollie, again, his decision making. Look, I've said over the last couple of days, I think that the only way forward for United really, they've got to sell certain players. That's a certainty. The players they don't want. Lingard, Pereira, Jones, that sort of player. They've got to sell them. They've got to get rid of them. Even Martial. What they need to do is basically just have the players listed as for sale. Any club that show interest, just say to the clubs, look, okay, you pay us the valuation of him, but we'll help you out with the wages. For the term of the contract. Well, of the contract they have with us. So if they have 2 years left, for these 2 years, we'll help you out. That way, you get rid of the players. You need to get rid of them. You need to bring in the right players. Certainly a case, if you're having Fred as your number 6, or even McTominay, you're going to struggle. And it's going to happen. Wolves did a job on Man United, really. In that first half, they harassed and they overrun the midfield, and United midfield couldn't get into the game in any way, shape or form. If you have a proper number 6 in there, that stops that. Their attacks get broken up. Their business gets dealt with. Because the number 6 says, right, I'll sort this out. You attacking players, you go and do what you do. I'll sort this out, okay? You come back and help when it gets a bit too much. But really, my job, I deal with it. And a manager who knows what he's talking about would have, like Varney, step up a bit, if need be, in that sort of situation to help out. You wouldn't be bringing Pogba back. Pogba is like Pogba comes back too deep, he gets dizzy. And suddenly his ability to play football sort of vanishes a bit. When he goes up the field a bit more, suddenly he can play again. That's down to the manager, isn't it, really? He's got to manage. He's got to solve this problem. I don't think he will, but there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.